Gaelg 21 is a month-long celebration of the Manx language, as you say, and it's organised by GBN, the Manx Language Network. And basically, it's a month-long celebration filled with loads and loads of events, which are all organised by the community. So there's a fantastic amount of things going on. We've got over 20 things happening over the course of the month, but there'll also be lots of projects launched. Things like different videos, different kind of promotional items, and lots of things anyway. So you'll have to keep an eye on all the social media and on the website as well. So lots of things coming up.
And the events are in every possible sort of area, aren't they? From there's music to films, there's all kinds of things.
Yeah, definitely. It kicks off tomorrow with Bingo, which is a family Manx Gaelic bingo night, which will be really fun, organised by Cruinneacht. And that's a really nice sort of inclusive event to get started with. So even if people only have a little bit of Manx or just starting out in their journey, they can come along and do that. So you'll see the numbers flash up on the screen as well as hearing them in Manx. So I think that's almost sold out.
Keeve to the door and two fat ladies and two fat ducks and all that.
Yeah.
All in excellent.
Yeah, it happened at the Coosh Manx Language Festival last year, and it was just brilliant. And it's hosted by Adam Horn and Joe Callister, and they do such a wonderful job. There's loads of glitter, loads of sequins. Me and Nicola went and we loved it, didn't we?
They're like a comedy act. They're brilliant.
They are really, really good. So the hosts with the mosts.
That makes sense.
Ignore that. So that's it. It starts with Bingo, but there's loads of things, as you say. So there's things like a pop-up music class on Friday morning run by mini musicians. That's free at the House of Manannan, and that's lots of children's songs and rhymes in Manx. Things like talks about Manx bird names in Manx Gaelic, and that's a nice way to kind of find out a bit about Manx if you haven't yet maybe got any, but you've got an interest in wildlife and in the environment. Find out a little bit about how the Manx Gaelic bird names came about, their history, the etymology, where they're found in folklore and songs and things like that. So that's really interesting. But there's just a range of events as well. I could go on. I will go on, but not right now. I'll let you ask another question.
Well, the last time we spoke to you, Nicola, I think was because of Coosh. You came in to talk about Coosh, and that's almost like as a sort of precursor, I suppose. How well received was that? Because I mean, that's sort of an indication in a way to how then you expand something to a month long, how it's going to be received by sort of the public in general. So how was Coosh received in the end?
Really well. People are always hungry for more events, and the Manx community is growing. And one thing that came from lockdown and more people doing things online is that we had some sort of online Coosh things, didn't we? And we were able to, how you guys were joining in with the runs at Coosh. We had one on Twitter that anyone could join in with, and we had people from all over the world joining in with that as well. So that it had a nice international element to it as well, didn't it? But to be honest, I'm sure that Ruth could probably put on these events like every single month and people would still come to them. People are always hungry, to get together and use their Manx, and even people who are sort of, just on the curious bystanders wondering about getting involved, they come along too. And I don't think there's any shortage of people that want to come to these events, are there, Ruth?
I think they're really popular, and it's as you say, like the Coosh, and we were doing a lot of things online. It showed that there's an appetite across the world, and we knew that anyway. We knew that there's a range of Manx speakers across the world and Manx learners. So there are some online things actually happening for Gaelg 21 as well. For example, on Friday the 18th of June, an organisation called UTalk are hosting an online Manx quiz. It's on Kahoot, but they're just doing that completely. They want to support Gaelg 21, so they said, is there any way we can come and help support that? And that's the organisation that have been working with the Department of Education, Sport and Culture and getting over 800 children across the UK learning Manx as well for their language games. So it's lovely to see organisations off the island as well wanting to come and support Manx. It's brilliant. So yeah, there's a few different things going on online through Gaelg 21.
One I spotted on the 30th, I think it is, of the month, talk about the Manx corpus.
Yes, and so that's a really interesting thing. That'll be on in the evening, and then there's a pub quiz in Manx. So the actual talk will be in English, but it's talking about as a searchable kind of library or database of resources, really, isn't it, Nicola? And there's a lot of work that's been done on that voluntarily by a committed team, and they've put a heck of a lot of work in there. I wouldn't even like to guess how many thousands of words are on there. It might probably be getting into the millions now, isn't there? But it's a wonderful resource, and we're very grateful to those people for doing that.
Yeah, so it's a way that you can search through the whole body of text that exist in the Manx language, because sometimes if you look up a word in a dictionary and because you want to know the Manx for whatever, it's not always obvious that's the correct one you should choose. So the corpus search gives you that little bit extra in that you can see all of the examples of it being used, so you've got some context there, and you can say, oh, I definitely don't want that word because I'm saying something completely that I don't want to say. So that it's a really powerful tool, and it's going to be really useful to lots of people.
And that'll be searchable by anyone. Anyone can be able to use that?
Yeah, online. It's going online,
It'll be a free resource, and so they're going to be talking about how it came about and what the need was for this and why, and showing us the corpus and how that's happening. So I mean, if you want to come along to that, that's free. That'll be happening at the Bunskull Gilgach in the evening on the Wednesday. I think that's a Wednesday night. I meant to say the 30th of June, but I just said Wednesday. I don't know why. But that'll be a really great event.
And there's some really fun things as well, which one of the things I think seems to work really well for people is when you get a big group together and it's sort of a normal situation where you can just drop bits of Manx in. And I really like that you're doing this with beach buddies, because you've just got a big gaggle together. It can be some of the usual people that go along as volunteers, and then I guess there's going to be some Manx speakers sort of there as well. Is that how is that going to work?
Yeah, so absolutely. So we're basically teaming up with Bill Dale at Beach Buddies, and again, this is a very much a community driven thing, so anyone who wants to come along and lend a hand and get cleaning the Manx beaches every single Sunday during Gaelg 21, you'll be able to come along. We've got some fancy snazzy new badges which say Lo Gaelgrum on them. They're little rainbow pinwheels, and if you see somebody wearing one of them, you could go and have a chat and speak. But it's just a really inclusive thing as well, so we'll be all together, English speakers and Manx speakers all together for the same common purpose, which is to make sure that the island's beaches get clean, but also hear a bit of Manx, as you say. It's just I'm
liking me pencils.
Oh yes, we've got pencils.
I've got a lovely green pencil with Trade Allure on, and then a red one with a Gelgaboo.
Gelgaboo, hooray! Manx, that's ace, isn't it? And so there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on, and I like the fact as well the timing of it sort of all links in with a few really key community events in the sort of Manx calendar, doesn't it, as well? So it's like our column, and there's a couple of others as well too, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. With Tynwald Day, we've got various things going on Tynwald Day at Culture Vannin, some pop-up Manx classes or tasters and some song workshops as well. But it all kicks off tomorrow because it's a very important date in terms of the lifespan of St Columba, who is a saint who was born 1,500 years ago and is really, really important. Colum Killia, that's where we get Lair Colum Killia from. And he was born 1,500 years ago and is a really important saint in terms of the language and the culture, and also in Ireland and in Scotland as well. So there's big celebrations going along, especially in Ireland and Scotland this year, to celebrate him. So we did it between the 9th of June and the 9th of July because it takes in Tynwald Day, Lair Colum Killia and St Columba's feast day.